Welcome to another episode of I Must Ask You a Question with Jen, James, Joey, Michael. How's everybody doing? I know I've been gone the past few weeks. I hope.
And you've been missed.
Can you guys hear me, or did I freeze up?
I feel like we need to have just the tail from the last 2 weeks. What have you been up to?
Oh no. Am I frozen?
Oh, there you go.
I'm not frozen. Okay. Everyone sounded like robots. I was like, oh goodness.
Oh no, you know
I am live.
Yeah, we're having lots of fun technical difficulties today, aren't we?
Yeah, we were dropping beats a little bit before showtime. Jen was able to record it, and we'll probably release it on Spotify in about 2 weeks, Jen.
That's right.
Perfect it.
We have to do it as a paid tier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. So how's everybody doing? I know it's been a while. Jen, how's the shop? Everything going good?
We're going good.
I see the expansion or the redo.
Yeah, we're within maybe 24 hours, 48 hours to getting access to the space. Just got some painting and flooring to do, and then we'll get it all moved around, and I'll finally be able to do a walkthrough with all the new arrangement. I'm super excited because I'll have a dedicated broadcast booth that has I'll be like a fish because it's a room with 3 giant windows in it, so people can just wander by and go boom, boom, boom. So probably
awesome.
have a lot of that.
That's cool.
So did you remodel your current place, or did you expand your current place? What did you do? What exactly?
So the square footage that was our gaming store became available to us because the gaming store acquired another section of our mall, our strip mall, because they needed more space and the ability to have some crazy much more long hours than what we had.
Mm-hmm.
So we were building that space out to be our toy store, and then we're taking the space that once was our toy store and giving some of it to our pizzeria because they're doing well enough to need some more space. And then we're doubling the size of our kids all ages reading area and putting a stage on that side so that if people want to come and do live music or have their kids stand on there and do plays or whatever it needs. The clubs want to meet. We have our first club meeting for the Houston chapter of the Lego Club. It's going to come and hang out. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, we're gonna try to use the space to its optimum effect, and we put down all new floors, which only took 11 years to get me to do.
I saw your post. You're like, I wish I would have done it sooner.
Yeah, it looks so much better. I can't believe it.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you're about 24 hours away from being able to, and you got your own dedicated recording booth. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Nice to have it tends to, since I have so many live shows, have a lot of product that kind of piles up for things that okay, I didn't quite get finished with this, so I need it here. Mm-hmm. But behind the counter, which is up front, it just means that it's a lot of things that look like chaos that aren't. So this will allow me to have a place that has as they call it, Miss Jen's Junk.
Miss Jen's Junk. Yeah. That's a good name for a show.
Not a great name.
Yeah. When I used to run an eBay store when I was in college, right when eBay kind of started, I called it Junk Store James.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah, and I was just selling books that I'd get at library sales and comics and sports cards and stuff. It helped pay my way through college. It was pretty awesome. I always have a soft spot
for your stuff.
We had volunteered my dad for many years at the Friends of the Library, Friends of the Fort Myers Library. And they used to want to pay us, but they're like, you can take whatever books as long as you can, take it from whatever the library didn't need. They would bring it to a storage, and then probably it ended up going once a year, but it was twice a year to do the book sale. And my dad and myself and my sister would run the book sale for them. And they said, whatever books we want, we could take. And I would just take some of them, try to put them online, and I'd sell them. And the ones that didn't sell, we just sold at the bookstore. And I didn't take all of them, obviously, just some of them. And it was awesome. It's a very good organization. I think all towns have them, Friends of the Library. They're so fantastic. It's very good, and especially in this day and age. Libraries are very, very different. I've been learning stuff just as far as digital comics. That's one thing that we've really, put the pedal to the metal, so to speak, as far as getting on digital platforms. And Hoopla and Comics Plus are are tied to the library systems. They're basically like they're like Pepsi and Coke of the library. Like Hoopla is Coke and Comic Plus is the library. But it's very interesting. People do digital, right? And I think they can check them out for 7 days. And when that happens, it disappears from their little app. So for those of you who don't know, a lot of our books are on those different platforms, and it's just great to be on there. And yeah, it's very interesting. I think we're on like 7 different digital websites now. We were on 9, but 2 of them went belly up, like Made Fire, which was pretty amazing. I'm not sure if you guys ever saw that one. They had like motion comics and very cool stuff, and it just they went out of business, unfortunately. So, but yeah, I really like the library systems are so amazing. Like we try to do set up a table and every December they have a like a library get together that Scout tries to do something, at least locally in Fort Myers. Mm-hmm. Don't you work closely with the library too, Jen?
I do, but the last 2 or 3 years has kind of messed things up because we used to have like a library convention. There used to be a giant like for the county, there used to be a big book show where they like bus in all the kids from all the high schools, and that was like a 2 or 3 day thing that was so much fun. We used to go and teach classes in there, like they have a little sub room that we go and like do like how to make a comic class, or when we carried Warbler, which is like a cosplay material, we teach those kinds of classes. But that kind of is, I think, I don't know if the library is not doing them yet, or if just everything got befuddled and they just don't remember who they were connected with. So I'll just wander by and say, if you guys are ready for things, we're ready for things too.
Yeah, it's such a good scenario. And I know Richard with our Scoop brand, he's been trying to be very active with schools. I know we did something with a book fair in Fort Myers here with Scoot, just being, the young adult all age brand has been very, very positive. Just it's interesting in those young adults, a completely different channels that you go after in lieu of like your typical comics. We had a pretty big release. Well, no, it was a decent release. We have a big book that came out this week, though. Did you happen to, Joey? Have you seen it yet? Vanity? Oh, Joey's silent. Joey said, "Yeah, it's great."
Yes, I did. I got here. Let me pull up I got it pulled up out here. Boom.
Have you seen this one yet, Jen?
Nope, I don't have a shipment yet from you.
Oh, really? Oh. Well, this one, it's basically about the world's most infamous female serial killer that takes place in the 1800s. It's done by a European creator, Jury. He also did The Corset, which came out last year. It was a one-shot that was extremely well done. And, of course, you have these amazing covers that Joe Schmalke did for it's oversized. I believe it's I don't think it's a $4.99 book. I think it's a $5.99 book. It's like a lot of pages. I think it's like 40 pages, I want to say. But it's dark, but it's based really on cool. that character, like that real life story about the pretty much
Elizabeth Bathory.
Yes, Bathory. That's
sounds like Lady Bathory.
Yeah, it's who it is. And what's really interesting is, I don't know if people know, Jury is. I had the opportunity to interview him, and he lives out in Hungary. And I swear to you guys, I met a vampire. Like, I'm not even playing a joke. like he's a freaking vampire. Like, he's like goth to the max. Like, he's even when I was doing some research, I came across some really cool footage of a music video that he did on YouTube. It's really cool. Like, he's a very, very interesting guy. He talks about where he lives, that all these crazy castles and the mythos that goes on around there with all the vampiric type stuff. It's really cool, and he's a really interesting person to talk to.
And Natalia is an amazing artist. I will not try to butcher her last name. Sarevnikova. Yeah.
You did it anyway, but here we are.
Yes, I did it anyway. But I don't think I did. Did I say it right? Close.
Yeah.
Right?
Sounds right.
As close as we can get it.
Yeah. And the other one is North Bend Season 2. This is one of our most underrated books. Is the other book that came out. This is It's going to be 5 issues. Again, season 2. It takes really has to do with the not too distant future and MK Ultra program. It's very well done. Ryan Ellsworth is a hell of a talent. He's a writer. I highly recommend this book. Again, it's almost complete and total of 10 issues. But this is season 2, number 4 that hits the stands today as well.
Cool. Yeah. And I don't know if you guys know, we got a few weeks till Free Comic Book Day, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And we got a new Electric Black story coming out, Children of Cain, number 0.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. On the Diamond Previews World website, it shows that coming out today.
I think everybody is able to receive them. I'm sure that but the event is in the first Saturday of May.
Yes.
The
Finally, 7th. Right? Back to normal.
Yeah. Super cool. Yeah, and this one's really cool. And Joseph Smolke's going to be doing a really cool, I think he's going to be set up at a shop, at one of his local shops there, at signing these books. So it's going to be really cool.
Yeah, it's in a completely original story. I think they did 22 pages. So, yep. And it takes place, I want to say, in the Old West. I don't know. I haven't read it yet. But again, another tale in the Electric Black universe. Mm-hmm. So we had a lot of good stuff. Any Jen, by the way, last time we talked, you mentioned that series Rogues by DC.
Yeah.
I read the first issue and I loved it. Yeah. It was really good.
Good.
Joshua Williamson's a really good writer, man. I really enjoyed it. And do you like those the Black Label, we call them Scout Prestige, like the bigger as a comic shop? Do you like those?
They're a little harder to rack.
Yeah.
But I have open racking, so it's easy enough for me to make the room to fit them. But I know for other stores it's super difficult for them because their rack size doesn't allow for it, so they just kind of get lost. So it's a plus because it has really great opportunity to have a larger look at the art.
Yeah.
And they stand out very much. People have gotten more used to them, certainly since Black Label's been kind of more of a standard. And I know Aftershock also has books that are that same size. So,
and that's the European standard from what I've learned. In Europe, when they come out, and they also do hardcovers and trade paperbacks in that size. So some of the books that we signed that were first over in Europe, that's how they were released. So it's kind of interesting.
To catch up is that people we need to make sure that it's clear what bag and board size goes with those, and then have boxes that would fit them to store your collection. Once we catch up with that part of it, then I think it'll be a non-event, or what it'll be like. I have my magazine size box and my golden size bags and boards, and then I'm good. I know what I'm supposed to be doing with them, because I think right now it's just the unknown. I don't know what size to get, and I don't want to get a whole box of 100 copies of these things unless it's going to be a normal thing.
Yeah, the fact that they continue to come out from various publishers, I think will make it, like you said, over time where people will start buying that material. That was one thing with do you carry was it TKO Studio stuff at your shop?
I don't. I think it's mostly because the signing up for their books is a little confusing to me. Mm-hmm. So it's just for lack of time of trying to figure it all out. I tell publishers all the time, if you make it easy to order from you, I'm ordering from you. And if it's 2 or 3 hoops and you send me a form that I have to fill out with my credit card information, I have to send it back, it's 0% chance that's going to happen.
Yeah. Take note.
You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised at how many retailers have problems with their distribution. And it's crazy. I went into a shop last week and I was like, hey, I'm going to go stop in here just to kind of check and see if they got any scout books and maybe get some footage and talk to some people. And they had literally only 2 titles, and they were saying that it was really they had a difficult time to ordering and things. I was like, you guys got to just contact them directly. Let's get some books in there. But it's
that's the goal, man, is to just try to make it as easy as possible, whether it's through Lunar, Diamond, Universal, Direct, whatever way to make it easier for retailers to get their books. That's the bottom line, right?
Yep.
Yeah, with the TKO, the reason why I brought that up was because beautiful art, but their individual issues, they come in this nice little box. It's very thin, the box, but the issues are taller. They don't fit in a normal bag and board. And that's something I think that was not good because how do you store it? It's very difficult.
Do you guys remember the Barry Windsor Smith like giant box set of?
Yeah, the Storyteller or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's kind of the same problem where you're like, if you lost your box, man.
you're done. Barriers, Brian K. Vaughan Barriers. That's another book that doesn't fit in the bags and boards.
I had the whole set, all near mint plus.
Mhm.
And then I went to go like to put my to rearrange my stuff, and every single one of them is damaged. And now they're not anywhere near mint.
Are you talking Barriers?
Yes,
Yeah.
the whole set.
Yeah, it's difficult. But again, having bigger space for art is pretty cool. Like I love like the legendary editions that we do.
Mhm.
Those at least fit in those 11 by 17, you know, like where people buy prints, fit in those little what do they call them? Clamshells? No, clamshells
They are
is the
called top loaders officially.
top loaders. That's what it is.
Yeah.
So we went to order some top loaders. Do you know they're on back order until December of this year?
Yes, they are.
Wow.
Insane.
It's nuts. Yeah, and then you would get books like this size.
Wow.
They sent it already in its own bag and board though. It's really cute.
That's good. That's
This is how
smart.
big it is.
Which company is that? Who does that one?
This one is a fun book called A Hundred's Tale. It's a comics poem by my grandfather, and then I don't know that it has a company name.
Wow.
It's just
Interesting.
he's just putting down his grandpa's poetry.
Did you get the press works that we sent you?
The which one? Sorry.
The press
The
works?
press. Yeah, it's like sitting
Oh, is
just
that it?
off camera here, so I can be like, "Thank you for my."
Oh, that's awesome. Hold on, I gotta put you in
Very
solo so you
cool.
can see that. Oh my gosh, look how cool that is.
I want it.
I love
know.
this book so much. I like
It's
anything
such an
that
amazing
gets
book.
into your brain. So I'm so thankful.
I think that's going to be an amazing movie.
Mm.
Like horror, World War One. You know, is he crazy, or is like animals talking to him? It's awesome. It's such a good series. The art is so eerie and scary. We got the third wave press plates, and I got to see them, and they're so incredible.
I'm sure you're
Oh,
not
wow.
getting rid of those in any way.
I'm not. I'm gonna
Right?
put a couple for sale. I put a couple of them on for sale. I have a couple in my office that I'm gonna hang up for sure.
Mhm.
Just seeing some of them, it's really interesting to see, depending on what the book is, what plates really pop. You know,
Mhm.
typically yellow doesn't pop, but for like third wave, it pops. Like the yellow ones were just really incredible. It just really depends on the inking style, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Like with Cult of Icarus, the yellow doesn't pop as much as the magenta and the black.
Mhm.
Black always seems to pop incredibly.
Mhm.
But yeah, they're really cool. We just did a huge launch of that on Friday. We started off initially by just selling them on our Whatnot shows that we do. Like,
So in the printing process, is the magenta the final process of that, or which is the final inking process?
I don't know. That's a great question. I all I know is they put the plates in, and it happens within the printer press,
Mhm.
and then it just shoots out. I don't know which one goes last, but there's pretty interesting things too. Is like after it's done, like they don't change the plates. Like the plates fall like in a stack, right? After they finished. And then they'll run another book and run another book for the day. It all depends, you know, their day is mapped out. And then at the end of the day, they put water through the machine to rinse the machine. And then it drips out onto the plates. So a lot of these plates that you see, we're trying to keep them as originally intact as possible. So we just did some ash cans for the Comics Pro. And we did one for like Darkland, which is a new series that looks incredible. Wait until you see this one, Jen. It's amazing. And the blue, you could tell the blue was like the last one on there because like the ink is just everywhere. And we could wash it off, but we're like, no, we want to keep it as close as the process as possible.
Yeah, that's cool.
So it just looks like somebody just like walked in and like took like a handful of blue paint and threw it on there.
Man, that's so dope.
Yeah, it's very cool. And again, it's just another cool, unique collector piece. All of them come framed like what Jen held up. We do have some that are individual plates, meaning that just the size of a comic bag and board, but those only happen with trades, is what we found out. With normal, that's the trade that you have a Frank at Home on the Farm. Like they'll sometimes have extra pages on there that don't come in sections of two. So what we do is we just cut those individually and we sell those as well. And we haven't put those on the website yet, but a lot of our mystery boxes, you can possibly get one with a COA in it. So it's pretty neat.
Is there a way that you could put those?
What was that?
Would you possibly sell those on Whatnot?
Oh, for sure. We've sold those on Whatnot already.
Oh, you have?
Yeah. We're going to just make it like Friday was the first time that we made it available to everybody. So if you go to scoutcomics.com and /Pressworks or under titles and search for Scout Pressworks, you'll find it. It's just a listing. I think we have some from Stake, trade paperback, Frank at Home on the Farm, a few left from the Cult of Icarus first printing, a couple from Third Wave #2. And what else did we have? We got some really cool ones coming up. Like our operations manager, Trevor, he uses his big old guillotine to cut them and stuff. And he works in the back, and you should just see how cool he's like to set up and stuff. We have to file it down, by the way. We have to kind of sand it around the edges because this is metal, right? It's pretty sharp. We don't want people to get cut.
I was gonna say, does he have to wear like safety stuff, like the gloves and some glasses? Yeah.
So I wonder if there's a way you can make metal covers out of that.
I mean, you could. That's kind of how metal covers started, right? Where they would just take the normal cover of like a issue and they would put the metal on it, right? Mm-hmm. So I guess you could, but what's unique is, metal covers go for premium prices. It doesn't matter really what company, that puts them out. And those are limited to what? As low as like 25, as high as like, 200, 250. And those things go for well over $100. These Pressworks are literally one of one, I guess one of four, if you think about it, because each page, like what Jen has there's a yellow one, there's a magenta one, and there's a blue one, but it's still different.
It's still one of one because of the how unique and the colors. And that's super cool though. I love it.
Yeah, and we're just behind the scenes stuff is trying to figure out like that little plate. We made a deal with the trophy company next door, where we just give them the information and they they give us a set price per plate where they put which is awesome. So, and then we're still trying to find a good deal on those frames. So we think we found a place, but it looks so much better when it's framed, and the quality. We found a place that was cheaper that has a higher quality frame, and it's not glass, it's plexiglass, because again, if you send glass, into the mail, it just screams that it's going to get broken. But yours got to you okay? There was no issues or anything?
It was perfect. However you guys shipped it was probably the right way to do it, because it didn't have any problems with the corners getting bing bonged or anything. And I think it's a smart choice to have the plastic here anyway, just for when people get it, then they don't have to worry about it shattering.
And it's about the presentation, right? Like we could sell it as just the plate, and it's just not as like, it's like I try to compare it to like buying a house without a pool and then a house with a pool. Like you could probably get more money if you had a pool at the house and you get to enjoy it and it looks better. But what's nice is those plates and stuff, if you wanted to display it somewhere, like you purchase one, you can take off that plate, the little trophy plate thing, the plaque, and you can move it and frame it again if you choose. It's not a big deal, but we thought the presentation is just important. But it's wild.
I think you probably it was a smart choice to do, because this one's a very easy to tell what the book is, because it has the cover page. But for people that are getting like interior pages, it might not be so obvious. So it'll be nice to.
Yeah, there was a couple they were confused about, because Stake is about a female vampire, and so is Cult of Icarus, and they came at the same time. So there was a couple pages that were mixed in. They thought were Stake that were actually Cult of Icarus. So yes, you're absolutely right. That is a really, like, just to be able to have it on there so people know where it came from. But yeah, there's a lot of still the supply issue. It seems like it's getting a little bit better. Our main printer has been able to secure some paper consistently now for the past 2.5 weeks. So that's great news. But it's been wild. It's an ever-changing market that just seems to be changing more and more every day. Like shipping, have you seen your shipping cost increase?
We've been warned by the post office for specific dimensions, like when you get to larger dimensions, that they're just going to slap on like huge fees. Like anything above, I think long box gets right at the low point of the one dimension. But if it's anything like just a minuscule amount, if they decide that the cover, for example, for the box, it puts it above the dimension, it adds $30 to the cost.
Jeez.
So they're trying to get everyone to like get everything into smaller boxes, which is fine. But I think you'll see a lot more companies going to like the flat rate boxing.
Yeah.
Because, you know, even if you have to do 2 flat rate boxes, at some point it's going to be cheaper than doing the open rate.
Combining it together. Yeah. That's wild. Yeah, it looks like, I don't know when we started, but, you know, typically we end the show with a question. Any of you guys have one in mind? No one?
What? Okay, I have a question.
Wait, I have a feeling that there's something happening that I don't know about that you guys talked about last time. No? No? All right.
He's like, I believe one day.
What is the craziest hotel experience since you're in a hotel that you've had?
The craziest hotel experience. One time long time ago, I was in college and I was staying at a concert and I woke up and there was some dude sleeping and I had no idea who he was on the floor. I guess he came in the middle of the night, and my girlfriend at the time, she's like, "Oh, I thought he was your friend." So we're sitting there having this conversation while this guy is passed out on the floor. And then eventually I'm like, "Hey man, this isn't your room." He's like, "Oh dude, I'm so sorry." He's like, "I have to go to the bathroom." And he went to the bathroom for like 30 minutes. So yeah, it was up there as one of the weirdest things ever.
God.
So how about you guys? What was the weirdest? And that's the one that pops in my head. I'm sure there's some others. I've traveled quite a bit.
I think you won.
I won?
Yeah.
I mean,
I got to tell you one from a horror story. I will leave it off with this story from Enzo Garza. Enzo is the creator of Guckos, great guy. He owns a portion of Blackbird Comics in Maitland. So we were doing a show in Miami. And Miami from Orlando is roughly around like a 4.5, 5 hour drive. And him and his friend were coming to set up at the booth that we had. And he goes to his first hotel and he makes the mistake. And Miami's known where it's like high price hotels, but really low star. Like the star and the price don't match up. That's just the Miami area. Little FYI. I don't know why Enzo did.
He's like warning us.
He lifted up the mattress. Oh, and in the mattress were needles, used needles.
Oh no.
And I was like, oh, he's like, instantly left, you know, and it's like, you know, he was saying it was like 12:30 at night. Like they're exhausted. They're going to get up early, you know, Saturday cons start at like 9 a.m. You got to be there by 8. So he goes to the other one, does the same thing. And there was used prophylactics. He went to 3 hotels. And I was like, and that third one, did you lift up the mattress? He's like, no. I was just So he wins.
Oh my god.
He wins.
Oh,
and by the way, these were expensive hotels per night, like $200. It was in Florida right around, you know, January, February. I think that was like January, February store. All the, as we call them here, snowbirds come down and everything gets jacked up, the prices of hotels and everything. So yeah, Enzo has me beat. Even though that one was really scary. The guy was weird.
That's disgusting, but cool.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say, James, I thought you were going to say that he went into the bathroom and never came out, like he was a ghost.
No, he was there for a long time, and like let's just say he was.
All right, I got a confession. A confession. There was one time that I woke up in somebody's hotel room and I had to use the restroom for 30 minutes. Sorry.
That was you. I knew I recognized you. Well, Joey, I'm glad. Like this is a big reveal. I don't know what to say. I'm this one. You didn't leave your number. You did nothing. You never called, Joey.
I'm sorry.
Well, thank you guys all for joining us again, and thanks for filling in, everybody. And sorry I wasn't on the last 2 ones. It's been kind of crazy, but yeah, I hope everybody has a great week, and we will see you guys next week for another episode of I Must Ask You a Question with